and do whatever he pleases. We find ourselves in positions we want to get out of it. We pray to God and we feel like God is kind. We want to leave, but we find ourselves stranded in every strategy, in every way we've placed, everything we've tried. We're still in that place. My foundation. Where is your call? On what do you build your foundation? When you plan your life, is it by your strength? Is it by your experience and your knowledge? Is it by the things you know how to do? Is it because you are streetwise, or you know how to get a job or sustain a job, or you know how to make financial planning, or you know how to work hard? What is it that you build your foundation on? There are no excuses. There is no one to blame but yourself. You claim to be a child of God and you know God. You claim to be spiritual. You claim to be different from the people of the world. But somehow the people of the world are in a better position than you are. Don't talk to me about riches. Don't talk to me about wealth and property and the luxurious things in life. That's not what I am talking about. I am talking about our root, our foundation. Where is our call? Came across something. It says fishes. The fishes were made to live in the sea. If you take the fish out of the sea, is it going to survive? Is it going to live? God called the fish out of the ocean. When we go back to Genesis and we understand that God was in the process of creation, everything that God created, he said, let there be light. So he called light out of darkness. He called light out of darkness. He created the sea and he called the fishes and all the sea creatures out of the sea. The ground brought off trees and plantations bearing fruits of different kind out of the ground. And then when he came to man, he went back to the ground. He molded man. He created man. He shaped man. He made you in that thing. But for a man to become a living being, God had to go back to himself. And when God went back to himself, he had to breathe the breath of life into man. And what we don't understand is that God breathed his breath into us. And what that means is that we have got to live in God. We have got to be in God for us to live. And if we step out of God, that means we are bound to die. And many of us, we fight these battles that we don't even know how we got into. We fight these challenges out of the presence of God. And we expect to win the battles. We want to use our strength and our know-how to fight the battles we found ourselves in. To many young people, you find out that everything you do is not going the way you planned it. I have seen stories where mothers will go to a witch doctor and pray, God, if you give me, or witch doctor, you got to do something for me to have a child. And the witch doctor does whatever he needs to do. Mama gets pregnant and gives birth to a child. But what mama don't know is that this child belongs to the devil. So every step the child takes in life, there's trouble, there's problems. Nothing will work well because the root, the foundation is from the enemy. And many times you beat yourself. You don't know what's going on. You've prayed, you've fasted, but things are not changing. It's because we haven't cut the string that is attaching us to that foundation. Some of us may have done something along the line and somebody placed a curse curse, and that curse is following us, and we feel like we can live. I don't care. You may be my mother, but you're not going to control my life. Can I speak to the young people in here? If you have offended your mom, whether dead or alive, you got to make it right. Otherwise, if things are messed up in your life because of that, if you do not disattach yourself from that foundation, nothing is going to be right. No matter how you work, no matter how hard you go about your day, no matter how you pray, if you do not break the foundation, it's not going to be broken. Because there are principles. Principles. We got to understand the rules of principles. God is God. God is a spirit, but we got to understand that before God do or does anything, he has to do it through a man. Because God himself cannot come down on this earth as a spirit and begin to align things in our lives. God himself cannot come because it's going to break the principle. It's going to break the rules of him being God. That's why even when he had to come and save man, God had to step out of himself. He says, I gotta go as a man. He stepped out of himself and became Jesus Christ so that he can come on this earth. Because he being God with the spirit that he is, cannot step into this world. He has to come through a man. So God knows your pain. He understands everything that you go through. For things to begin to go back into order, we have to go back to the foundation. Many of us have phones, don't we? Many of us have some sort of a technology gear, whether it's a phone, it's a Watch, whatever it may be. But for now, let's speak about Samsung and Apple. When your phone breaks, where do you take it? To the Apple Store. Why? Because they made it. They know about it. Even if they can't fix it, they will give you a new one. Because they have abundance of phones. So when we find ourselves in situations, when we find ourselves in a place that feel like life is over. In fact, as a matter of fact, this life is messed up. Nothing good is coming out of this life. When we go back to the foundation, when we go back to the Creator, he is able to put things in line. And if everything is broken apart, he has the ability to give you a new life. But then we want to fix the problems in our lives by the experience we have had in life. We want to move on in life by the things people have said. We want to move on in life by the status of society until you come back to the root, to the foundation, the Creator of life. You stay in the same place. You will restart your phone. You will buy a new charger. You will go and get a new screen. But if there's something that you don't understand, that only the Maker understands, you will keep on restarting your phone. I'm a living testimony about restarting my phone. Francis, because Samsung don't have a store in here, I had to buy a new one. We are going to keep restarting until we can restart with the Creator. We are going to keep failing until we can recognize that our lives is not in our hands. Many of us feel like we have a choice, but we don't. He says, I lay life and death before you, but I beseech you to choose life. Choose life so that you may live. Not choose life so that you will enjoy, die, and go to hell. Choose life so that you may live. So that you may live. And if you cannot choose life, then you've chosen to die. And die you will. Die you will. And somebody asked me a question. What then differentiates me from being in God a little bit. Slow down. Slow down, brother. Listen. Greater is he that lives inside of me than he that is in the world. I have God. You have wealth, riches, influence, and power. But this is what I've got. Eternal life. That when I die, I will be raised again with the King. And what I have is that when I die, because I am connected to the foundation, because I am connected to the root, the creator of life, the author and finisher of my faith, the God of my life. There is a difference. You got to see the difference. There is a difference. It's not sometimes it's not a difference you see, it's a difference you experience. And if you cannot experience the difference, you may be able to see it. And if you can't see the difference, I have tasted it. I have seen that God is good. Wait, I didn't give you a Bible verse, but I will now. John chapter 15. John chapter 15. It says, I am the true vine, and the Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branches in me that does not bear fruit. Why every branches that does bear fruit, he will prune so that they will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word that I've spoken to you. Let's go down. Verse 7 says, if you remain in me, however, I am the vine. This is Jesus speaking. I am the vine, and all of you are the branches. I've already done the work. I've already paid the price. I've already bought you with a price. So whatever your mama did is not held over you anymore. I bought you with a price. I bought you with a price from the hand of the enemy. I didn't just die so that you can come to heaven. I died so that you may be able to live, not survive. To live. Many of us are surviving. We are surviving. No. He did not die so that we may survive. He died so that we may live. So that we may live, I will prove it to you. It says in verse 7, if you remain in me and my word in you, ask anything and I will do for you. But then I like Matthew. What's it? Matthew. Give me a minute. We've got to come back to the foundation. If you remain in you, if you remain in me, and I'm in you, ask everything you wish in my name that I will do. So all you got to do, little woman, you just got to stay with me. You got to walk with me. You gotta stay here. Hold up. I gotta show you something. Excuse me. I want to make this literal as you can understand. You gotta stay with me. Go, keep going. No matter what you go in life, when you are attached to the root, you meet troubles along the way. You will fall. You will rise up again because you are attached to the fountain of life. No matter how you go, he will call you back home. He will bring you back home. But if you decide that I am all sufficient, I'm going to walk through this life by my own power and my understanding. So what is deep down. You just need to come back to the root. So no matter how far you go, you're going to come back. And this also goes for you. No matter how much sin you've committed, you got to come back. Do you know why the enemy is always fighting you? Satan, he messed up one time. Just one time. Satan messed up. They kicked him out of heaven. Kicked him out of heaven. But every time we mess up, there is grace to start again. So wherever you're falling, it don't matter. You just need to come back to the root, the foundation of life. And it's not easy to come back to the heart of God. In Matthew, he says, take my yoke. It is light. Take it. Come on to me. God did not make us to be independent. He never made us to be independent outside of him. If you ever want to be independent outside of God, tell me how you go. And many will ask, then why is it that people in the world are living better lives? This is a scripture this is something that Jesus said to his disciples. One of his disciples asked him, what can we do to be saved? Because this whole thing looks like it's hard. And Jesus replied and said, the ones I have chosen, I have chosen. What if God has chosen you? And you want to keep going away? That's why we find ourselves in tight positions. We can't even breathe. Everything we do, we get caught. Everything we do, we get caught. We get trapped. Because we've got the springs. Spring of life. I am living water. If you drink of me, you will never test again. That's the thing that when they said to him, they just messed up everything. When he said, I am the bread of life. He knew what he was saying, but they did not understand it. When Jesus said, I am the bread of life, and everybody think now, oh, so this guy is going to give us his body so we can. No. I am the bread of life, the fountain of life. We cannot be with God in seasons. We cannot be with God with seasons or wherever we find ourselves. So today, if I'm happy, I will come and praise. And then I will go back when everything is okay. It has to be consistent. A relationship that is consistent. A relationship that keeps going on and on and on again. Because some of the things you are facing is bigger than you. You will have to deal with it, and then the kids that you're having or your children you're having will come and deal with it because you did break the curse. Because you did not break the cycle. Because you did not break the cycle. So that cycle keeps repeating itself. Some of us have accepted the situation, and so we sit with it. This is my life. And at a point in our lives, every time that season is about to repeat itself, we get ourselves ready for it, and we are children of God. There is no peace in the hearts of young people. There is always something we are worried about. There is no joy. The enemy has come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But God has come to give us life and life in abundance. I don't know how many times he had to say this. So the enemy has got us in a place where he's no longer worried about us. He knows I got him there. Some of us, we are dependent on substance to carry us through. Our foundation are the substance we have in our lives. Drug, alcohol, whatever it is that is your foundation. Is your foundation. And so every time you fall, you go back to it. Every time there is trouble, you go back to it. The only time that anybody will see you sober is when you have a fraction of peace in your life. When you have a fraction of understanding in your life, everybody sees you sober. Once everything goes wrong, you go back to the alcohol because that's your foundation. When things go wrong, you are in the club dancing because that's your foundation. When things go wrong, you are hanging out with the wrong people because that's your foundation. If we cannot come back to God, if we cannot come seeking after God, we are going to keep living in misery and pain. Going to keep living a life that has no understanding. We're not going anywhere. We're all just in the same place. If you look back on your life 5 years ago and you realize that even your situation 5 years ago is worse than what it is better than what it is now, come back to the heart of worship. Come back to the foundation, the creator and the altar of life. He's knocking at the door. He's still knocking at your door. It doesn't matter what they've done to you or what you've done to yourself or what you're about to do to yourself. The creator is able to renew everything. Amen. Stop talking to your friends. It's like learning a skill that you don't know about, and somebody call you to do a job that is very important to them, and you mess it up, and then you gotta go back and redo again. I'm a living testimony. It is only wise that we take it when it feels like it's messed up, okay? It's hard to pray because prayer works. That's why it's hard to pray. Prayer works. If we evil people, the Bible says, if we evil people, I'm paraphrasing, our children can ask us for bread and we don't give them stone. What about the living Father? He will not turn his face away from us if we ask him for anything. You got to be sincere in your heart. If you need peace, if you need freedom, if you need just a sense of understanding, whatever you need is found in the foundation. It may be hard, but the only way we can plug into our channel or back into the channel of God is by praying. Some years sometimes it will take you years in the same place, but with constant prayers, with constant fasting, with not giving up, you keep pressing on. Someday, Maria, stop there and don't come. Some days, you may even get stuck. Stop there. You may even get stuck, and you will try to be pulling, but it seems like what you are pulling on, what you are pulling on is stronger than you. When you pull, it seems like you're falling forward. You gotta go back. Don't give up. God, I need you in this situation now. God, you gotta show up. God, you gotta release the hand of the enemy. So, you gotta release the hand of the enemy. Church, no, come home. Foundation, God, come home and be comfortable at home. Come home and live. Come home and recognize peace. So what I've said to you today in sum up is, whatever situation you're going through right now, you got the power to change it. You got the power to change it. You've got the power to turn it around. You, yes, you, yes, you, every one of us. It is not up to the pastor no more. No, it's up to you. You, yes, you right there. All of you. It's up to you to change it. What are you going to do? That's a question for you. May the Lord bless His word. Amen.